Well, hi there. After another try, we got back online. Thank you for being here, whoever's watching. Um, Tonight, I'd like to talk about Mahatma Gandhi. Now, as you may or may not know, he is probably the most famous person in the world. He was an ordinary man from India. He's known as being very peaceful and inspirational as a man. He was much loved as one of the greatest men in our world and the greatest leader of our world. As one man, he proved that he had the power to an empire using ethics and intelligence. So much so that he was greatly admired by Dr. Martin Luther King in the 60s when we had our civil unrest here. During our civil rights marches. The Dalai Lama was peaceful and a man with nonviolent methods, which affected the entire world. Mahatma Gandhi has left a magical legacy, and he was masterful in his nonviolent methods for solving immense social problems. He gained India's independence from Britain and led nonviolent protests against the British rulers. First, the power of love, he said, always begets more love, because violence isn't the only way to get power. Or rules, because the power never wins against the power of love. Because patience is the key to the elements toward success. Now, if you take that and you put those words up against what's happening here in America with our leadership or lack of leadership, it can serve as an extremely valuable lesson and a path towards a much better outcome than the way we're headed right now. And that's actually why I tried so hard to get back online tonight and get things straightened out. Because, you know, when the fellas the armed American men go into state houses with bazookas and long rifles, what are they doing? What do they expect to do? The people that are in those state house buildings are working. Or somebody has to have a really important reason to be there. Why would they ever take a militia gun and a militia type stance in their state capital? What are they protesting? There's nothing for them to protest. Nobody else is up in their face. That's not right, guys. It's not right. You all need to stand down, because there's nothing there for you to protect. They are our protectors in the State House. They protect the rules. And if you disagree with the rules, then send a letter. That's right, send a letter. Send an email to your representative. Do it the American way. Use the American way of life, for a peaceful existence. We don't need your guns in the state houses. Not ever. And there are other things to protest. You got to go to some of the Indian tribes' reservations and protect them. They were here a hell of a long time before you and your family were, and their land was taken forcefully from them. That's why they're living on reservations today. You ought to be up there protecting their bodies and their lives. They're the ones that need protection, not the State House, for God's sakes. I mean, come on, get real. If you have a beef with somebody, you're upset with them, send them a letter. Call them up. But don't be so vigilant that you can't get a logical sentence out of your mouth. There are ways to do things, and going into the state houses with guns is not the way to do it. Killing a man in broad daylight when he's jogging is not the way to voice your opinion. Killing people, period, is the wrong thing to do. It's against nature. It's against your nature. You think your mother thought you were going to be on the State House steps with big bazookas and guns like that? No. What would she say? Grown, mature men are not supposed to do that kind of stuff. You're supposed to be able to voice your opinion in the right place, at the right time, without violence or insightful actions that might create violence. You guys have to stop this, period, right now. It's not right. You need to respect other people's opinions. You do. You need to respect other people's opinions because America is a free country. And it's going to continue to be free. We're not going to stop doing things just because you're all up in their face. It's not going to stop anything. It's going to make things worse. You might be precipitating your own death by doing stuff like that. You need to think about that too. Somebody could come around you and just try to stop you and decide, well, I'm just going to, and you're dead. I've had it with you guys who won't face reality. You need to go home and shut your mouth and be quiet and behave yourselves for at least a month. Stay home. Do the right things for your families. Don't argue with your wife. Don't push your kids around. Just knock it off and calm down. You're not solving anything by what you're doing. Now, if you really want the United States Marines to come down on you, and all the other guys that could, because you're breaking the law, that just might happen if you keep it up. Stop pushing boundaries. Who's stopping you from working? Anybody stopping you from working? I know lots of people have lost their jobs. You're not telling me anything I don't know, or anybody else doesn't know it. Lots of people are upset about what's going on right now. But let me tell you something, we're being pushed to our limits too. And the way you're going about things is not the way to do it. You guys just better sit down and think. What do you think your kids are going to think about you? You are responsible for your actions. Nobody else is responsible for you except you. You're responsible for the things that you do good and for the things that you do wrong. Nobody else. Your wife's not responsible. Your mother's or father's not responsible. Grown men are supposed to be able to think and recognize danger when they see it and know the right things to do to keep from getting into trouble. So, yeah, this is my second attempt at this tonight. But it won't be on again tonight. I'm had it with you guys who are immature and not behaving in a kind, respectful manner to other people who are trying to respect your actions, but it's really hard right now. And I'm talking about the obstructionists in the Republican Party. Every one of them I'm talking about. They need to sit down and listen and reread the rules, reread the Constitution, reread the laws of this country, because you guys are breaking them every single day. So, if you want to think I'm pissed, you're right. But you guys in power that may or may not get elected, you probably won't get elected this time around because everybody else in this country's had it with you guys. You're not doing the right things. You have to stop the bullshit. And I mean now. Because election time is coming. And so are the Democrats. So you'd best be calming down, start doing the right things, because if you don't, you're not going to be back in office. So that's all I'm having to say tonight. Thank you for listening, folks, and have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow at Diane's 9th hour. Thank you.